If your business was a movie trailer, would people be excited to watch the whole thing? Like, would they lean in, eyes wide, thinking, wow, I have got to watch this movie? Or would they just keep scrolling, forgetting about you before the next scene even plays? See, great trailers, they don't confuse you. They don't waste time. And in the first few seconds, you know who the hero is, what the stakes are, and exactly why you should care. And your brand message, it needs to do the same thing. But most businesses, they throw in way too much insider jargon, fancy words, vague statements that leave a whole lot of what does this even mean? And that's why today I'm giving you the formula for ways you can write a brand message that grabs attention, keeps people hooked, and most importantly, gets them to buy. Because if people don't get what you do, they're not sticking around to figure it out. Welcome to the High Performance Marketing Podcast, the show for businesses that want to master marketing and become the go-to brand customers trust and buy from. I'm your host, Ali Garbero, founder of Right Brand Marketing and your Story Brand Certified Marketing Coach. Hey, welcome back to the show. So to kick things off today, I want you to imagine the following scenario. Okay, you've had a long day, you're tired, you are starving, and you walk into a restaurant, you ask for the menu, and instead of a simple list of, their favorite dishes or whatever, the waiter or waitress hands you a 400-page book on the history of cuisine. You're like, what? So you start flipping through the pages. You're trying to find where the food's at, but it's just all this fluff. It goes into, French culinary techniques, this philosophy on how to plate food and the molecular breakdown of a cheeseburger. And meanwhile, across the street is another restaurant with a giant sign that says, juicy cheeseburger with crispy fries. Boom. Clear, compelling, craving-inducing. And your brand message, it needs to be that cheeseburger, not the history book. And that's because 47% of the time, your brain is daydreaming. So if your company or brand doesn't explain how you help somebody survive and thrive, in this case, I'm starving, and if I don't eat soon, I might die, then as I said earlier, people will just move on. So on today's episode of the podcast, I'm giving you the recipe for that kind of messaging, the kind that makes people buy and not bounce. So first, we got to start with clarity over cleverness. Now, too many businesses try to be clever instead of clear. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I was driving by one organization the other day, and it said something about we make healthcare simple. That's a little vague. I'm not sure. I might wonder if maybe we make healthcare affordable. that might land a little better, but it still didn't tell me exactly what they did. Okay, you make healthcare simple. Are you a network of doctors and nurses? I'm a little confused, right? Another example would be let's say you're a financial advisor, right? And you could be very clear and you could say, hey, I help you build wealth in 90 days. Or you could go into what I hear most financial advisors say, something like, for 100 years, ABC Company has been turning financial chaos into strategy, sometimes before the chaos even knows it's coming. Wow. Well, the first one, it's direct. It's got a clear benefit, and I know what I'm getting, right? You're going to help me build wealth in 90 days. The second, it's clever. I mean, it's even got a little bit of a slight attempt at wit, but what does this even mean? I mean, am I hiring a financial advisor or a weather forecaster? Because predicting financial storms before they even start, it's impressive. It's a great talent, but again, it's trying to be cute and clever versus, look, I just help you build wealth in 90 days. Boom, right to the point. So if people have to decode your message, they won't. Again, they're just going to move on. So rule number one, you've got to be clear, not clever. Now, next, let's talk about your brand message, right? Your brand message isn't just words. It's that spark that makes someone stop scrolling, that they lean in and they go, tell me more, right? And too many businesses are playing it, they're playing it safe with a little bit of self-centered messaging. We've been in business since 1998 and we love numbers. Cool. Well, so do calculators, but I don't understand what you do. Now, compare that to we help business owners sleep better at night by simplifying their taxes. Well, instantly, that message speaks to a real pain point and it offers a clear benefit. And your brand message, I'm going to give you another analogy here. I want you to think of it like a dating profile. If you write, I love adventures, deep conversations, and energy exchanges. Well, people have no idea what that means. Like, do you hike? Do you talk a lot? Like, tell me about you. I'm still a little confused. Now, if you were to be clear and right to the point, hey, I love trying new restaurants. Sunday hikes are my favorite. And on Friday nights, you can find me chilling to 90s rom-coms. Like, people instantly connect with that. It's clear, specific, and it's relatable. And so your brand needs that same energy. And the missing ingredient above all that I often see is your customer. Because the strongest brand messages are never about you. They're about your customers. So when your messaging reflects their struggles, their aspirational desires, kind of the outcomes, right? The things they get on the other side of doing business with you, then they can see themselves in your brand. And that's how you go from just another business to an absolute no-brainer choice. And that's what I want for you. Because at the end of the day, people don't buy what you do. They buy the problems you help them solve and as well how you make them feel. And if your message isn't solving pain points, then like those dating profiles, they're going to keep swiping left. Now, let's take what we've discussed so far and make this practical because I want you to not just listen and learn, but actually to go out and do. So let's talk about the power of a one-liner. And first, let me clarify that a one-liner isn't the same as a tagline. A one-liner see it more as your elevator pitch. And for me, as a StoryBrand certified marketing guide, I like to start with the problem. So it follows a formula that is problem, solution, result. Now, it doesn't have to be in that order. It does have to instantly tell people what problem you solve and for who, how you do it, and what you help them achieve, right? What's on the other side of my doing business with you? And like I just said, I like to leverage what I know about the framework of story so that you can start with the problem. And you might be wondering why. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or I don't want to be negative and scare people. But look, people pay attention when you start talking about their problems because problems are painful. And if you can show that you understand and get their pain, they're going to lean in and listen. So I'll give you an example of how this one-liner formula works, right? Problem, solution, result. Tony Horton, creator of the P90X fitness workouts, started with the problem. His infomercials were formatted in this way that said, hey, look, you don't have a beach body and that doesn't make you feel super great. You don't have a lot of time to spend at the gym, so I'm going to solve that problem for you with my fitness DVDs. So Tony's one-liner might have sounded something like, most people struggle to get in shape with boring, ineffective workouts. That's the problem. So I created P90X, an intense muscle confusing program you can do at home. There's the solution, right? To help you build a ripped, athletic beach body in just 90 days. There's your result. So here's a quick challenge for you. I want you to drop your one-liner in the comments. Okay. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop it in the comments. Or if you're listening to this on the podcast, email it over to me. It's Ali, A-L-I, at rightbrandmarketing.com. I'd love to look it over. I'll help you refine it. Again, my goal is just to help bring more clarity out into the world. So here's how we're going to wrap things up today. I'm going to give you kind of these three you can write them down if you're not driving, but a little bit of a cheat sheet for clear brand messaging. First, I want you to write down your one-liner and use that formula, problem, solution, result. Then I want you to go test your website headline. I want you to read it out loud. Does it clearly state what you offer and for who? Is it easy to understand? And ask a couple of people that aren't in your industry. That might make it a whole lot easier so that sometimes we're just too close to our products and services. So even ask your 6-year-old so that, it can get as clear as mud. And finally, I do want you to simplify your calls to action. Don't be vague. Tell people exactly what to do next. And often what I see is a lot of learn more kind of call to actions. And I want you to be very direct. Okay. So learn more is weak, whereas schedule a free call is clear. It tells me exactly what to do, what step you want me to take. I understand what's on the other side of that button, right? Because learn more, I don't know. Does that mean I'm going to sign up for a course? Well, do I have to read a long, lengthy bio of your company? Schedule a free call. Great. I know I'm going to talk to someone on your team. So your quick win for today is go update your website headline. And I'm going to give you another formula. It's not the same as the one-liner formula. This one is one you may have heard of a lot more often. And it's the we help your ideal customer achieve their goal without common frustration. Again, here's the formula. We help your ideal customer achieve their goal without common frustration. An example, if I was a real estate agent, I would say, hey, we help first-time home buyers move into their dream home without spending thousands of hours online looking at homes that don't even fit, right? Wasting their time online, something like that. So for P90X, what would that have sounded like? We help busy people get in the best shape of their lives without spending hours at the gym. Try it. Your clarity level will skyrocket. I know it will. Here's the deal. A clear brand message makes your business unforgettable. Confusion, it's costing you customers. And clarity, well, that's what's going to make you cash. And your brand, it deserves to be the one that people remember. If you'd like some more help, subscribe to this podcast or YouTube channel, or even better, book a free discovery call with me. I'll see you next time. If you're tired of unclear messaging that makes it hard for buyers to understand what you do, schedule a discovery call with me at rightbrandmarketing.com. I'm Allie Garbero. Copywriting is what I do. Clear brand messaging is what I create. And more customers is what you get.